Marisa Drew, who is Chief Sustainability Officer at Standard Chartered. Marisa, can you tell us, when it comes to Standard Chartered, what ocean initiatives do you have? Why is it important to the company?
Sure. Well, it starts with the clients that we serve and the markets that we serve. More than 90% of our markets have a very, very heavy reliance on the oceans for their economic health and prosperity. We have 90% of our markets are really what we would call water-bound nations, as we at Standard Chartered have a footprint of some 52 different countries with a heavy dependence on the developing economy, the developing world in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. So if you start with the premise of who do we serve and how critical oceans are, it leads us to a place where we've got a role to play. And we can do that in a variety of ways. On the one hand, we have a big lending book. We are a balance sheet lender, and we can use that lending book to invest in ocean-friendly opportunities on the one hand. We can also use the power of our balance sheet to nudge clients to become better ocean stewards in the quest of actually helping the ocean to help them. Because if they are interacting better with the ocean, we protect it in order to protect their livelihoods. The other lens that we put on it often is the risk lens, is that there is so much at stake here. We've heard this phrase so many times at UNOC that the world will not survive without healthy oceans. There will be no commerce or prosperity or economies fundamentally. So if we look at it with that lens, then once again, the risk and the financial loss if we don't get this right is high for our own assets under management and our own balance sheet. So those are all the reasons why. The how and how we go about it is that often we are in the middle of setting standards. What does good look like for the industry? We collaborate with industry participants and say, how do we set a high ambition? How do we create standards that allow capital to have confidence in flow? And then how do we create all those enabling conditions for scale? Sometimes we'll influence policymakers in our country, is one way. We can get involved in piloting novel transactions that are breakthroughs. So at a systemic level, we need to think differently about what financial models will work and create capacity and space in a commercial way to invest back in oceans. And we can test, trial, and pilot like we've done with Debt for Nature swaps, where they started in a tiny little fringy corner in a $15 million size. And we've advanced those to the point where we're doing what we call institutional grade at 500 million and $1 billion type sizes to restructure the debts of debt-stressed nations, of which there are many again in my footprint,
right,
and create capacity through those restructurings to have pools of capital to invest back in nature that creates that positive virtuous circle. I mean, it can go on and on. There's so many places where we could dip into this topic, but there's just lots of roles. And the final one I might just mention is a lot of this begins with awareness. What is the value proposition for a corporate or a client? Even just putting on the table the fact that as an investor, you can make a return investing in certain ocean sectors. So there we use our research and our insights, and we've got that all out there for perhaps your audience at 𝗏𝑠𝑐.com/ocean. Lots of content and research that will make that case for why the oceans are investable.